They call it the Lesser Genesis, but what if I told you this ancient text reveals secrets too controversial for the Bible itself? Secrets about time, angels, and humanity's destiny. You won't believe what's been hidden for centuries. Ancient texts have always held a mysterious allure, but few are as enigmatic as the Book of Jubilees. It's a scriptural treasure many have never heard of, yet it rewrites the Genesis story, challenges timelines, and offers a glimpse into divine secrets that were deliberately kept out of mainstream scripture. Today, we're diving deep into the forgotten pages of the Book of Jubilees and uncovering what it says about the origins of humanity, the role of angels, and hidden cosmic timelines. Here's the thing, why isn't the Book of Jubilees in the Bible? If it claims to expand on Genesis and answer questions about creation, the flood, and the covenant, why was it excluded? Some argue it's because its ideas were too radical, too dangerous. It details a rigid 364-day calendar, angelic hierarchies, and a divine chronology that reorders biblical events. The question is, was this text erased because it reveals truths that would shake the foundations of modern faith? The origins of the Book of Jubilees. To understand why this text is so controversial, we need to start with its origins. Scholars believe the Book of Jubilees was written around the 2nd century BCE, during the Second Temple period, a time of intense religious and political upheaval. The text itself claims to be a divine revelation given to Moses on Mount Sinai. But here's where it gets interesting, it doesn't just retell the stories of Genesis, it reinterprets them through a cosmic lens. The Book of Jubilees organizes history into cycles of 49 years, known as Jubilees. This rigid structure wasn't just a way to mark time, it was believed to reflect the divine order of the universe. According to this framework, major biblical events, from the creation of Adam to the Exodus, were preordained to occur in specific Jubilees. This isn't just a timeline, it's a blueprint for humanity's destiny. The controversial 364-day calendar. One of the most striking features of the Book of Jubilees is its insistence on a solar calendar with 364 days. Why is this significant? Because it directly contradicts the lunar calendar used by many ancient cultures, including the Israelites. The text claims that this solar calendar was ordained by God and followed by the angels themselves. According to Jubilees, the lunar calendar, with its shifting months and irregularities, is a source of spiritual corruption, pulling humanity out of sync with divine time. Think about it, if the calendar we use to mark holy days, harvests, and even the Sabbath is flawed, does that mean we've been living out of alignment with God's plan all along? This idea was so radical that it's no wonder the early church viewed it as a threat. Angelic hierarchies and the Watchers. Now, let's talk about the angels. Jubilees offers a detailed hierarchy of celestial beings, from guardian angels to the infamous Watchers. These Watchers, as the text describes, were angels who descended to earth and disrupted God's plan. They're accused of introducing forbidden knowledge to humanity, leading to the rise of the Nephilim, the giants mentioned in Genesis. But Jubilees goes further, claiming that these angels corrupted not just humanity but the very fabric of creation itself. This narrative isn't unique to Jubilees, it's also found in the Book of Enoch. However, Jubilees frames it within its own cosmic timeline, suggesting that these events were part of a larger divine test. Could it be that the fall of the Watchers was a necessary step in humanity's spiritual evolution? Reinterpretations of Genesis. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Book of Jubilees is how it reinterprets stories from Genesis. Take the story of Cain and Abel, for example. In Jubilees, Cain's actions are influenced by demonic forces, adding a layer of spiritual warfare to the tale. The flood narrative is also expanded, with detailed accounts of how the Watchers' corruption led to the near destruction of the world. But perhaps the most intriguing reinterpretation is the covenant with Abraham. Jubilees doesn't just present it as a promise between God and one man, it portrays it as a pivotal moment in a cosmic plan that spans thousands of years. The text even gives specific dates for these events, suggesting that history is unfolding according to a preordained script. So, why was the Book of Jubilees excluded from the Bible? Scholars believe it was too rigid, too prescriptive. Its insistence on a solar calendar and its detailed cosmic timeline clashed with the more flexible narratives in other biblical texts. Early church leaders may have feared that its teachings would lead to division or challenge their authority. But here's the kicker, Many of the ideas in Jubilees have resurfaced in modern debates about biblical history, timekeeping, and even extraterrestrial influence. Could it be that the Book of Jubilees wasn't just a relic of the past but a warning, or even a guide, for the future? The Book of Jubilees is more than just an ancient text. It's a window into a forgotten worldview, one that challenges everything we think we know about time, angels, and God's plan for humanity. Whether you see it as a lost scripture or a work of inspired imagination, one thing is clear: it forces us to ask questions that mainstream religion often avoids. Want to uncover more secrets from ancient texts? Watch this next video. It'll change how you see the Bible forever.